the fun part about being a divine feminine is that you get to have that capacity to view people around you with inner balance and detachment while also holding compassion and wisdom. The inner child adult is any person who is not reparenting their self, but is their self. So that means you have earned or you stayed with secure attachment. That means your 1-year-old is a free lover, and that's why you can detach and not be a flat line. You also don't have anything to say to those who are Cuscos except for, wow, they gave me an opportunity to, work with my mouth and my heart and my body and just stay a divine feminine. And with that being said, you can choose to do mindfulness, mind sight, so sifting your own inner world and mindset when you are self-aware, accountable, and regulating because you desire to be in that true spirituality journey of a person who is a restorative embodiment, self-aware, accountable, regulating. So you will either have a therapist help you to learn to begin to regulate, and then you continue with relationships, or you will consistently expand as a piece of consciousness who didn't have a disruption from the lovely sphere of Akash. That's why a divine feminine knows who a true divine feminine is and who a true divine masculine. So these words, again, they're not set in stone, FYI, but I use this and that. And so when you harness from mind, heart, and body the doingness and beingness of your own masculine, your own feminine, so being the body, doing the mind, you will know what it is like to be mindfully listening, mindfully talking, and basically you're consistently in the depths of you. It's why we are unimpressed by any person, and that's the 4D, 3D mystics included, that are what I'm going to equate to adaptive child pattern behavior or maladaptive child pattern behavior. They're all in a shame cycle. So their brain thinks inner critic, outer critic, and then their body is not regulated by the human being who owns it. And you see them demonizing or romanticizing, blaming Lucifer, calling New Age spirituality Luciferian people, and you just hear a lot of different stories. Now, the sciences one that think they're sciences call us pseudoscience, woo-woo spiritual, fakos, snake oil, a bunch of other words. And so what I can tell you all as a mentor, content creator, podcast host, and human being who has the emotional, mental, and physical intelligence and mastery of this body right here, and as attachment trauma information, it's really nice, Terry Real, to know you. And you, Dr. Daniel Siegel and Bezel Vanderkolk and Janina Fisher and all the smart human beings out there who know that us polyamory do not overestimate the usage of your brain. That we actively can support any person who has the 2 hands and 2 feet to want to carry themselves into whether it's a therapist's office or however many people we want on board to get out of non-bilateral non-integration. You're not integrated when your inner child's not out to play. And you're definitely going to be somebody I notice from far away. No, I will have to engage with you first. But as soon as I notice Cusco, I'll know who's in the room. And I'll be like, well, you're so cute, Cusco. I'm going to go now. No, that's not how it works. Okay. We embrace the 5D mystics and the 5D functional adults. Any person who's Christ consciousness, we embrace humanity. That's why we overflow in it. And that's why with our masculine and feminine, we get to do more. With those counterparts, it's only if the masculines, divine and or not, and divine feminines and or not, actively are an inner child adult. So what does that mean? It's not a special gift. No, it is a journey of the heart and the gut and the mind. It's called somatics. So once you get EMDR, child parts work, and somatics and or sensory motor for those who have a distortion of their self and of humanity, once you love all 8 billion people and growing, and you don't just do blah, 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 but you'll actively, when that neighbor throws shit in your face, say, oh my gosh, Maria, guess what? So once you have equanimity all the time, not just sometimes, then I know I have an infinite higher human conscious potential in the forefront, which is where we are at here, and you feel deeply, and it's really amazing. To always be on, yeah, and to see Zen masters talking about laundry. So yes, harnessing the mind, heart, and body, it's as dandy as can be. I only did yoga with Sadhguru because, well, Sadhguru, I thought about Shambhavi Kriya. So I did inner engineering, Shambhavi Kriya, and then I did this other one, yoga. No, the grace of yoga, what was it? Five elements, something like that. But they're all really awesome. And you want to, though, know the self of you first, your narrative, relational, core, and solo self, and make sure that you understand if there's a dysregulated or modulated embodied self, so that you can first appropriately work through those layers. And then once you're ready to be in that restorative embodiment self, you will be aware of it with a good therapist. So it's very important that you get your self lens as well, if there's borderline or narcissism or sociopathy or psychopathy, because those lenses require for you to be aware, if you want, of those triggers. And then when you understand how your split and or black and white thinking work, when you have a clear view, it's because your good therapist will have informed you. And then you have the healthy self-worth people like myself who say, okay, so now that I know what to expect, because you know who you are and what you're working on, I will know how to make sure that I say, okay, you told me you're going to work with that mood, so this is how we decided. Oh, and it's not going to be because you're at 80%, 20, that doesn't work. So equanimity, no ill will, healthy self-worth is where partners know we have 24 hours. Everyone puts their best foot forward with compassion. So my amygdala will always be alerted to your emotional, mental, and physical safe haven, secure base, but that's because you're proactively moving towards bliss and delight within your body. So that means you're looking to consistently be on in happiness zone, not do what the Zen master does and want to come be basically what is that quote from Albert Einstein. It's stay away from every person who has a problem, because yeah, every time you give them a solution, they're going to bring it. So we don't actively find Eeyore personality types actively out of. In fact, it's a childhood trauma personality type. Thank you, Patrick Tiahan. There's 5 childhood trauma personality types: the doer, the ghost, the please-appeaser. Are we good? Then we have the one who is the doomsdayer, which is the Eeyore, which anytime you say anything nice, they're just going to say, oh, well, the sky's going to fall. So eventually it's like, okay, wow, you really have this thing going on. Like, you can get therapy for it so you can actively get out of it, because your neuroplastic agent is like mine. It's called imagination. It's your words. So if you don't want to be happy, I'm not going to make you. But some of us are trying to be in a state of happiness and bliss because we can. We actively know we have 24 hours and that we can support each other in moments that are actively very frightening and upsetting. So having a resilient nervous system, why not? Okay, good. So mindfulness, mindsight, and mindset. That's where human love here. We go all in. Why not? Who wants to say why not? Oh, you can have all the emotions. You just don't actually spend in your temporal junction ruminating. Because emotions last 90 seconds, but they're not like a machine either. So it's just that you get to become more resilient because you know how to become your own safe haven. Your 1-year-old is soothed by your own self. It's called, I can use my default mode network down-regulated while I use my prefrontal cortex to do my inner growth mindset, because, yeah, I stubbed my toe. I can easily witness, process, and then let go of, and there you go. It's no charge. That's why some of us don't talk about post-traumatic growth. I don't have post-traumatic growth, although I know all these other technical people say, well, that one was, and that. So, you know, people like to put your life in their mouths and then they give you their interpretation. Then you have the Pachas who understand that that's not actively what you are. Your subjective reality is not Maria's. Differentiated selves, when you have those, so come on over. That's what we like here. We don't correct each other and tell each other how to express our lives to each other. We ask, do you mean this thing with that word and that word? Because I don't know. I use the word differently. And we get curious always more. Okay, so yeah, that's why there. What's that other 5-child personality type, Patrick? Doer, blamer, no, doer, doomsdayer. Are we good? The ghost, and then there was one more. I don't remember it anymore. But Patrick Tiahan, he's great for anybody who takes seriously their childhood trauma and wants to stop dating people that treat them like shit. Stop being in codependent type relationships. I see plenty who instead they still want that. And yeah, I tell them all about attachment trauma information. They don't think that they need any. They just use the words and then they go around pointing fingers at each other. Okay, so yeah, we don't do that. Enlightenment soul age group. Those are the societal and relationship soul age group who keep learning about their self and they think they know love. And well, you know, spiritual self-help mindfulness isn't for everyone, because they don't want to do the mind sight, sifting their inner world and then saying, oh, look, we have thoughts, emotions. Let's deal with uncertainty, unexpected, and unwanted from the depths of my open heart, which is 2 main modules, and then going with the flow, my flow of my brain. So when you do want to do that, come on over. That's how you tap into that infinite higher human conscious potential experience. And you live a true spirituality life of meaning and connection beyond the soul self. You also know what the essence of life is and what true romance and courtship is. Yeah, courtship is not somebody who walks in and out. That's a flake. It's a pretend firework. We see it. It's very cute. Sure. Yeah, it's very cute. Okay, we will be back with more. I will keep this one short so that we can have some more chit chat. I wanted to channel some guidance. Thank you for all for stopping by. Like, share, and subscribe if you know of people who want to tap into bliss and delight and that enlightenment soul age group if they want. They don't have to, but it's a lot more interesting to consistently expand as a piece of consciousness and then to be around more. But again, everyone has their thing. Feeling deeply, it's fun, it's not miserable, and you don't lose any of those 6 emotions. You actively know how to be in all of them like a functional adult, which is really nice. So when somebody's yelling in your face, you don't take offense. You're like, oh my God, I hope they're okay. And then you actively like, okay, yeah, they're okay. And if somebody's passive aggressive, it doesn't seem passive aggressive at all, because you're like, okay, wow, that person's in a really unfortunate, sad mood today. I think I'm gonna try to work my way around it, you know. So long story short, we have Sid, Manny, Diego, but we're all Pachas here, and that's why we get to heal that lovely trauma one person at a time, one relationship at a time, and we get to know what true love is. Polyamory and monoamory. It's our oxytocin gene hormone. It's I'm Maria. Hey Eric, I got a tail, I got a dad. This is a little mermaid. I ain't losing my voice. It's the act of I don't change. I consistently become more of my inner child adult. And I want to be happy because I got 24 hours and I'm not going to waste any of it in a doomsday clock that really, do you really need to use this? Because we all have secondary consciousness. It's not a dilemma, but I know that I won't know when I die. I still don't like it. And I'm 44 and I won't like it. Universe, God knows already. I say, you know what? This isn't funny. I don't want to go. And they say, don't worry, Maria, you're not going anywhere anytime soon. And I'm like, yeah, but I still have to go and I don't want to go. And they keep saying, like Marcus Aurelius told you, stop worrying about it. I'm not worrying. I'm just letting you know I don't want to. Well, 3-year-old Maria, you don't get an option. You have to. Your organic body is decaying by the minute. Really? Come on. So that's the only thing that we really don't want to do. When consciousness is informed, it is the essence of love and life. It's an inner child adult who's like, wow, it's a beautiful day today. Tune back in later if you want to hear more about the beautiful days of the divine feminines. We're going to talk a little bit more about those people who are not divine feminines yet, because I feel like it. So tune back in later.